Welcome once again as we talk some EALHAM men's basketball. As of this interview, Quakers play tonight against Transylvania. Then they have that long road trip to Hanover coming up on Saturday. Coach, tell you what, got to go back a little bit. You play so well. You go out to Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Had opportunities there. You play a very good center team, and then you come back against Anderson. Probably a little bit of a roller coaster ride in there, huh?
I was. When we went out to Philadelphia, that was right after finals. Literally, we flew out the day after, the day of the last day of finals. And I think the guys were just relieved to be done with school for the semester and enjoy a little bit of time together. It was a really fun trip. It was a great trip, to be honest with you. The guys, it was great team bonding, an opportunity to play 2 games against pretty good competition. And we looked good. We played a Swarthmore team who at the time was undefeated. I believe they actually still are. And played them pretty tough. And we actually felt after the game we could have won that game if we had done a few more things right.
Yeah.
Well, to their credit, they bounced back the next day and came out and we probably put together our most complete game of the season, offensively and defensively, and able to come out with a pretty convincing win, which was exciting. So it really capped off a really fun trip to Philadelphia. Then we had some time off for the holidays, and we got them back a week later, and we jumped right into this tournament at Wittenberg, which I knew when I scheduled it was not going to be easy.
Yeah.
But we felt it was important before we started conference play to play 2 tough teams. We felt that would help us, just prepare us for when we go into conference play. And again, had 2 strong games. We played a Wittenberg team that's perennial powerhouse, won a few national championships, and very well coached. And we played them tough. They were just in a different position, where their program's just in a different position than where we are now.
Yeah.
And we weren't able to come out with the victory, but I thought we played well. And then we came back the next day, just like we did in the Philadelphia tournament, and played our tails off.
Yeah.
And played against a very, very good center team who, by all intents and purposes on paper, should have probably done the same thing to us that Wittenberg did. But our guys stuck to the game plan and worked their tails off. And we put ourselves in a position to win, and unfortunately, when you're young and not used to that type of experience, we weren't able to pull it out. But we learned from it, which is good. And then you mentioned the next game. It was actually Manchester. We went to Manchester, and we have had trouble on the road all year.
Yeah.
And I think our guys were a little deflated after that loss to center.
Yeah.
And it was one of those situations you could tell after about the 3rd possession it was going to be a long day.
Yeah.
We just didn't have the energy, didn't have the focus, and that's what's going to happen when you have a bunch of young, inexperienced guys. You never quite know what you're going to get from game to game.
Yeah.
But they've had 2 good practices this week, and we're motivated for tonight. So looking forward to a good one tonight.
As mentioned, Transylvania, we'll get to them coming up in a couple of moments. And then, again, you can go to Hanover coming up on Saturday. Coach, there's a couple of areas I know that you're still very focused on. One of those rebounding, especially offensive rebounding. I think you're only averaging about 6 offensive rebounds per game, so that's one area that I know.
More than I thought we were, so good for us.
We'll feel a little better about that, And then the other one is still trying to find the shooting, the touch that you need on a consistent basis.
I mean, the offensive rebounding is that's been an issue for sure.
Yeah.
We can look at it though. Our defensive transition's been pretty good, but we aren't giving ourselves second chance opportunities,
Right.
which is so important, and something we actually talked a lot about in the beginning of the season. And we've had so many other things we've had to focus on and concentrate on that it kind of has taken a back seat.
Yeah.
And now now that it's been glaring and really holding us back, it's something that we're trying to push and promote again.
Yeah.
And then the inconsistent shooting again. That's just something that I know it's frustrating on their part as well. Because as we're sitting here, you see guys in the gym right now getting shots in, getting work in, and in practice shots fall, but when those lights come on, it's a different story, and we got to find a way to overcome that. And we need at least one or two guys to just be consistent for us every night, and then maybe we can get some few younger guys to join them. That's what we're working on now.
Yeah.
We've really put a large emphasis on the defensive end, because we always say if we can't make shots, at least we can get stops.
That's right.
And we have been doing that, except for Manchester. We have been doing that, which is good.
Yeah.
But at this point, now we got to put them both together.
By the way, it's not the first time. I think it's just about every time I've come up here, either to do this interview or maybe just to get ready for a game, they're down there shooting. Yep. There's 5 or 6 guys always down there, so they're working on it.
Yep. No, I never question our guys' effort. I never question our guys, just motivation to want to get better, to help us compete. The only thing that and I've said it now, it's been 2 years, is that we just need more experience.
Yeah.
You look at our roster, about half of our minutes come from freshmen.
Right.
Then you look at the remaining half, and we have a sophomore, and then we have 2 or 3 juniors who actually are playing basketball for only their second year in college.
Yeah.
So technically they're sophomores when it comes to basketball. So we're trying to compete with freshmen and sophomores and against juniors and seniors. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be an easy time, an easy road, but they never stop working.
Yeah.
They want to get better. And last year was a perfect example of that. We were probably outmatched every single game, but by the end of the season, because they worked so hard, they were able to pull out some home victories. This year is no different.
Yeah.
It's going to come together. It came together over the break. We had a tough one against Manchester, and we're hoping tonight it comes right back to the way we were playing beforehand.
Yeah, very true. All right, Transylvania, 2-9, I think, coming in overall. They've struggled a little bit, but still, you never know. It's a tough road when you talk about college basketball. Yeah. You can get beat any night, no matter who it is. What do you expect in this one?
It's the thing. Transylvania's tricky because, they're 2-9, so the record doesn't look great, but they are talented.
Yeah.
They've got some really, really good players. They've got a great point guard. They've got a senior big man who can step outside and shoot, who I think is an all-conference player. In fact, he may have been an all-conference player last year. They've got a couple really good freshmen that have stepped in. I think right now, as a team, they're just trying to discover their identity a little bit, a mixture of these returning players and their freshmen. And you look at they've had a bunch of different starting lineups, a bunch of guys. I think they've only had 4 guys play all 11 games this season. I think they just had some stuff, and I don't know everything, but they've had some stuff go on this season that has made it tricky for them to win some games. But when it comes to talent, they're very good. So this is not a team we can take lightly. We can't look at their record. They're much, much better than their record.
Hanover Saturday, what do you expect there?
I can expect a well-coached, hard-fought game, and it's at their place, and that's always a tough place to play. We are a team that right now we have a tough time on the road. So we'll see. We mix it up a little bit on Saturday. We play the first game. The women play the second game.
Okay.
Maybe that'll help us out. We'll see.
Yeah.
But obviously, like always, I'm not looking too far ahead. I'm really just focused on tonight. Yeah,
I don't blame you one bit. So tonight, again, 7:30 tip-off time, again, as of this interview. And then on the road on Saturday at Hanover. And I think we'll see you back on the road at Defiance in the next contest. So we won't see you for at least a little while after tonight. So good luck tonight. Okay?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, Jason Polykoff, the head coach. And again, you can see tonight's game right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.